This installment of Real Stories from My Real Estate Experiences could be titled, Make Sure You're Truly Prepared to Sell If You List Your House. I had a client who decided he wanted to move, and he was self-admittedly an anxious guy. He had a lot of questions, but he had approached me and said he'd gotten my name from somebody we knew in common and said, I want to list my house. He didn't say, I'm thinking about it, I can't decide. He came to me and said, I want to sell my house. Okay. So we entered into a listing contract, and I had the place photographed, and we listed it, and we got it under contract. And about a week after that, I got this frenzied phone call from him saying he decided he changed his mind and he didn't want to sell. And I said, what are you talking about? We've been discussing this and working on this for months before we even listed it. And he just sort of freaked out. I don't know to this day if it was more about not being able to find another place. We did look at things to buy. He ended up renting for a year. I'm not sure exactly what drove it, but he just sort of panicked and insisted that I call the buyer's agent and offer the buyer some sort of monetary amount to sort of get out of the deal. He said, ask them if for $10,000 we can just kind of make it all go away. Unfortunately, the buyers, or fortunately for them, they really did want the property. So they said, we don't want to do that. Now, if my seller really wanted to, my understanding is he could have just refused to sell it, and the buyer really would not have had any kind of legal claim. But the point is, it's just wrong to do that to someone. So we discussed it, and it took him about 5 days of continuing to ask me, well, what could we do? Or how could, maybe they could live in it while I'm still living there. Kinds of crazy stuff. Eventually, he realized that none of that made sense, and that whatever his original reasons were for wanting to move still made sense. And he said, you know what, I kind of freaked out, and I'm over it, and let's just kind of continue like nothing ever happened. So in the end, it all worked out fine. But my point to you is, especially in this market where sellers are constantly told, wow, you could get a lot of money for your house, there's no inventory out there. There may be people who enter into that decision before considering all of the important factors. So if you have the showings, sell it, move, what are your options? Think all that through before you sign a listing contract to save yourself and everybody else who may become involved in the transaction a lot of headache and emotional pain.